What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back. In today's video we are checking out one of the most useful accessories that I came across for iPhones. This right here, it's called the SYNCO P2L. This is an advanced wireless microphone system that works really well with your iPhone. So if you make any type of videos with your iPhone, if you make Instagram videos, if you make TikTok videos, YouTube videos, any videos at all, a system like this will massively improve the sound quality from your videos. You also get one receiver and two transmitters. That means that you have two microphones. You can use one of the microphones for yourself and the second microphone for a second person. So let's say that you have like a vlog where you need two people to talk. You can use the second microphone for the second person, or if you have like an interview or something like that, you can use the second microphone on the second person, and this way you get great sound from both people. And that brings us to what comes in the box. So first of all, you're going to find the user manual. The user manual is actually pretty handy for this particular product, so maybe don't lose the user manual. Then we have the charging case for the two transmitters and the receiver. This is mostly made out of plastic. At the top here we have an LED. On one side we have a pairing button. However, these actually come paired right out of the box, so you don't have to do anything. And then we have the USB-C charging port for the case. So from the case you can charge the two transmitters and the receiver twice, and that gives you about 10 hours of recording time. To open this is super simple. You just push on this side here and then you pull this out, and then you can just remove the two microphones and the receiver. That's simple, and you just plug this in your iPhone and you don't have to do anything. So it's just plug and play. Aside from that, you're going to find the USB-C charging cable, so you can charge that case that I showed you earlier. And then we have something that I haven't seen for any other wireless microphone system for the iPhone. So this is a USB-C to a 3.5mm audio jack adapter. So what do you do with this? Well, you plug this in to the receiver. The receiver is plugged in to your iPhone, and then you can monitor the sound. So you can plug in some headphones to it and you can monitor the sound that you're getting from those two microphones, or from one microphone, depending if you're using one or two. So very important feature, mostly if you have someone helping you film. The receiver is pretty small. Of course, we have a lightning connector, but there is also a version of this that has a USB-C connector. So you could use that one for Android phones, for example. On the front here, or on the top here, we have an LED. On the back, we have a USB-C port. So as I mentioned earlier, you can plug in that connector so you can monitor the sound. And then we have a button there. From this button here, you can change in between mono sound and stereo sound. And next, I guess I'm going to show you a quick example so you can see how the mono sound is and how the stereo sound is. But first, I'm going to show you an example just filming with the internal microphone from the iPhone. So I'm going to put the iPhone instead of this camera, and I'll show you a couple of examples just so you can hear how the sound quality is. Okay, so this is our first test with the internal microphone on the iPhone 13. So I have the iPhone 13 about 3 feet away from myself. I'm in the exact same room where I was filming before, and the room is fairly quiet. So the only thing you should hear is my voice. So this is the internal microphone in the iPhone 13. Alright, and we're moving on to our next recording. Now I have the microphone right here. So one of the wireless microphones is there. The second one is in the case. And we're recording using mono sound. For our next test, we're gonna switch to stereo sound. But this was a sample with the mono sound in a quiet room with the microphone placed here. So let me switch the sound to stereo sound next. Alright, so for our next test, I've switched the sound from mono sound to stereo sound. To do that, you basically hold that button pressed on the receiver for a few seconds, and then the sequence of that LED on the receiver changes, and then you know that you're recording in stereo sound. I have the wireless microphone placed in about the same spot, and we're in the exact same quiet room as before. So as you've heard for yourself, pretty big difference whenever you're using the internal microphone in the iPhone and when you're using one of these wireless microphones. Mostly if you're further away from the iPhone, the internal microphone is not going to be able to pick up the sound, but if you have one of these, it does work really well. Okay, so next I'm going to take these outside. We're going to do a couple of tests outside just so you can hear how the sound quality is in more situations. If it's windy, if there is some noise around you, if you're further away from the phone. According to the manufacturer, these should work up to 150 meters away from the phone. Personally, I'm not gonna record 150 meters away from the phone because I'm just too far from the phone and someone is gonna steal my phone. But we'll try at different distances from the phone. So let's take, well, not the camera, we'll take the phone outside and let me show you some example recordings. Okay, so first I want to show you how the internal microphone in the iPhone would pick up the sound under these conditions. So I'm going to go further away from the phone. So I am about 10 meters away from the phone, I'm going to say right now. So you probably barely hear me right now. So next I'm going to put the wireless microphone in just so you can see how that one improves the sound. So let me plug that in. Alright, so now I'm in the exact same spot as before. It got a bit windier now and I can probably hear a few more birds right now. So I'm gonna walk further away from the phone. So now I'm about 10 meters away from the phone. According to the manufacturer, I can be about 150 meters away from the phone. But again, I don't think I'm ever gonna record that far because someone may steal the phone. So this is how the wireless microphone would sound outdoors in a fairly quiet place. I'm gonna say maybe a bit windy and you could also hear some traffic. Alright, and we're moving on to our second audio test with a wireless microphone. For this test there should be more noise around me. It's also a bit more windy. We have some cars passing to the right. So you should hear all that aside from my voice. Well, depends how the microphone picks up that sound aside from my voice again. So according to the manufacturer, I should be able to be about 150 meters away from the phone. So the transmitter should be connected to the receiver up to 150 meters. Now I have about 20 meters in between the two. Of course, I'm not going to leave the phone 150 meters away from me because someone is going to steal it, but just so you have an idea of the potential of this external microphone. So yeah, this is how the external microphone would pick up sound outdoors. And if you're curious and you wanted to see how the iPhone would pick up the sound under the same conditions and basically in the same spot, I'm also going to go further away from the iPhone. I don't think you can actually hear anything at this point, but just so you get an idea how the microphone would pick up the sound with the internal microphone when compared to the wireless microphone. Okay, and I also wanted to show you how the wireless system would work if you're using the second microphone. So I have the second microphone on Laura. Hi Laura.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm good, how are you?
How do you like this beautiful weather? How's the endless summer going for you?
It's beautiful.
So
Love
the
it.
weather is beautiful.
Yes.
So this is how the wireless system would work if you're using the second microphone. So if you're doing like an interview or something like that, or if you're filming a vlog with someone, you can use the second microphone for the second person. So if you're using this in the mono sound mode, you also have access to some voice effects. Personally, I'm not a big fan of those voice effects. I prefer my sound nice and clear, but I can see those coming in handy for certain funny YouTube videos, funny TikTok videos and stuff like that. So I'm gonna show you a couple of examples just so you can see how those sound effects, voice effects sound. I'm not gonna show you all of them. There is a list here, and if you don't know what mode you're in and you wanna go back to the original mode, you just unplug this from your iPhone. So you unplug it and then it resets to the original mode, which doesn't have any effect, which is the one that I use 99.9% of the time. So let me show you a couple of those voice effects and see how they sound. Alright, so this is our first sound effect test. I should be in the Studio FX mode right now, so everything should be super echoey when I talk. I'm not sure when you're going to be able to use something like this, but it's there if you need it. So let me try switching to the next one and see how that one sounds. Okay, so now I've switched the sound effect to KTV FX. This should be pretty similar to the previous one that I just showed you. And the next one is called voice amplification. So let's see the voice amplification and how that one sounds. Okay, so I've switched that to voice amplification. It should be fairly similar to the previous two, I'm gonna say. And once again, the next one is gonna be electronic dance music. So let's switch to the next one and see how that one sounds. Okay, moving on to our next test. Now I should be in the electronic dance music sound effect. I'm not sure how this one sounds, I don't remember how it sounds. And the next one is gonna be called baby effect. So I should sound like a baby in the next one. Let's try that one out.
Okay, so now we should be in the baby FX mode. So I should sound like a baby. I guess this could be fun if you're doing like a TikTok video or something like that. And our next mode is called male to female. So in the next one I should sound like a woman basically. So let me switch that once again. Okay, so now I'm in the male to female sound effect mode. So basically I should sound like a woman. Again, these modes are something fun, not necessarily something that everyone will use. And personally, aside from this test, I'm probably never gonna use any of these sound effects. We also have female to male and monster effects, but there is no point in showing you every single one of them. So yeah, this is how those voice effects sound like.
And as you've heard for yourself, the sound quality from this wireless microphone system is way better than if you just use the internal microphone in your iPhone. Of course, this will depend on your environment, if you're filming in a super quiet place, if you're filming outdoors, if there is wind, and so much more. But having a wireless system for your recordings will definitely improve your sound. Alright guys, hopefully this video was useful. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.